Hi, happy Mother's Day. What am I doing? Well, I'm in a ADHD rage, I don't know what to call it, madhouse in my brain. So I'm trying to do a lot of things at the same time. And so I did make a list and I wrote down everything that I would like to do. That way I can mark them off as I do them. But then, I end up losing the list and having to start all over. And I don't go by the list anyway because I go look at the list and I say, oh, okay, it says to do this. And the next thing I know, I'm taking the blinds down in my bathroom so that I can paint the window seal. And I was like, well, that wasn't even on the list. Why are you doing that, Tracy? And then I come in here to get the paintbrush so that I can paint said window seal. And I go, oh yeah, I was going to put a pot of beans on to cook today. So here we are. So I thought I would show you how I do my pinto beans. Because why not? Why not have a little gas on Mother's Day, right? Right. Okay, so first of all, I cook mine in a pressure cooker, which I know everybody's scared of. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people. But I love mine. I love it. They're so much safer than they used to be. You can't get this top off until all that steam's out. All you got to do is either do a natural release and let it release over time, or you can flip the toggle and it'll all start releasing. I recommend that you pull it out from under your counter cabinets, whatever those things are called. Apparently in other places in the world they're called cupboards, but apparently in the South, I don't know if that's everywhere, but in the South I know they're called cabinets, cabinet doors. Yeah, I don't know. Cupboards sounds so like old school. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands real quick because I just realized I touched my hair. Okay, I'm back and I have nice clean hands now because I'm not gonna touch absolutely anything except maybe the bacon, but hey, I've washed my hands. And I left the vacuum cleaner right here so y'all can see it, and my trash is overflowing on the other side because that's just the kind of day I'm having. Yeah. Bing, 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 bing. Anyway, happy Mother's Day. Did I already say that? I think I did. All right, so I took my pinto beans and I have a very large bowl that I set this colander in and I fill it with beans, and then I cover it with water and I let it sit overnight. Maybe not even overnight, just about like 6 hours. And then I raise this up and I empty the brown water that's in the bowl and I set this back down in it and I fill it up again. And the next time it won't be so brown. And sometimes I do it a third time just because I'm lazy and I'm not ready to start cooking yet. But I like when the water is clear, because when the water's clear, you're not going to get gas like you normally do with beans. So let's pour the beans into the pressure cooker. I'm trying to do this backwards and I can't see what I'm doing. All right, so that's empty now. All right, now all we have in here is pinto beans. I haven't surprised you and threw anything else in yet. Well, next we're gonna add chicken broth. I am actually using bone broth, but you can use chicken broth. You could use beef broth. If you wanted to. You could even just use water. You use whatever you want to. But I'm just going to pour this over the top of the beans until probably it's all gone, or until the beans are covered. And sometimes you might still have to add some extra, but actually this looks pretty good. Hold on just a second and I'll show you. Look at there. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more, because sometimes when it's cooking, they dry out a little bit. So I'm just going to put some more water in this thing. Hold on just a second. All right, I filled it about half full, and I'm just going to pour that in there on top of it, because I just want it to have some juice going on. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when they're through cooking, I still have to add some more water and turn it back on because they dry out. And my daddy don't like dried out pinto beans, but he likes the juice of the beans. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some salt. Now I have my salt in a little Magnolia Chip and Joanna Gaines salt. What are they called? A bowl. Salt. There's a name for it. I don't care. So I'm just going to take a little spoonful like that, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it over the top. Yeah. And it's probably, that looks like a lot of salt, but it probably still ain't gonna be enough salt. But I'd rather add more later than add too much right now. You know what I mean? Because you don't want them to be too salty. And I'm just gonna stir that in like that. Okay, I'm gonna put that back on that little thing that I can't remember the name of right now, but I'll remember once I'm editing the video, and I'll be like, well, you big dummy, it's called this. Yeah, that's what I do. Anyway, now I'm gonna open up some bacon. And the reason I soaked these beans for so long is I was gonna put them on to cook yesterday, and then I realized my bacon was still in the freezer. Because sometimes when Publix has their bacon, buy one, get one free, I just go ahead and pick up two, right? Because why leave a free one behind? Anyway, so then I just put one in the freezer because I don't eat bacon like, I mean, I could. So I cut the pack in half, as you clearly saw, and now I'm just gonna lay these on top. Yeah, they'll just be floating on top like little gems from heaven. Yeah, like little stars in the sky. We'll have little bacon stars. We're just gonna put, I don't know, measure with your heart. Use love as your measurements, right? So we're just gonna fill that up with bacon until the top of this is bacon, okay? Those two pieces are stuck together, so let's kind of spread them apart. Alrighty, I'm gonna put one more, just for good measure. And then I'm gonna save the rest of that, and I'm gonna have me a BLT for lunch. Hold on, let me wash my hands again. Okay, and that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna take this fancy top here, and it's got a little thing, a little cut in right there, and we're gonna put it right there, like that, and then we're gonna lock it. Now, this little toggle thing has fallen off a few times when I've been washing it, so I don't think it's on right, but I'll find out once I turn it on and it gets to steaming. I'll come in here and adjust it, because it should be right there for closed, but I don't know what happened. It don't matter though, you know. I just wait till I hear it steaming and I'll come close it a little bit so it's not making any noise, because you don't want the steam coming out of it. You want the steam to stay locked inside, because that's what's gonna cook it, okay? And then right here on the front, see all these fancy buttons? Oh Lord, I ain't got my glasses on so I can't see. Hold on just a second. Alrighty, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna see where that says pressure cook right there. I mean, I hope you can see. Uh-oh, put your hand over the camera. I'm gonna hit pressure cook, and oh, I don't have the lid on right, see there? And then I'm gonna take that up to about, I don't know, 45 minutes. And that's all we're gonna do. And I'm gonna turn it back around right here, and then I'm gonna continue on with all the madness that's going on. And then if I hear any steam coming, I'll come and shut that little valve off so it'll stop. The top of the valve is kind of wore out because I wear it all. I mean, I wear it. I don't wear it. I use it all the time, but it says, what does it say? I don't know what it says. Pressure release, pressure, and what's this pressure release again? Anyway, that pressure is where you want it, right there. So you just have to kind of wiggle it and kind of get it on there. I just wait till I hear noise and then I come shut it up. That's all I do, is I just come shut it up when it starts making noise. So we'll just leave it right there. And then when it's done, I'll show you. You can't get the lid off. You can't, it's not gonna explode, okay? These new ones are much better than the old ones. Yeah, because if it hasn't exploded on me, then chances are it's not gonna explode, because, I mean, I've told y'all my experience with my Vitamix blender exploded twice on me. So if there's a chance for me to do something wrong, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna happen. And this has been easy. So anyway, I get on my shirt already. I hope it's just water. Anyway, faith, hope, love. Isn't that cute? Yeah, and I got an email this morning that they're having a BOGO, and I think Love in Faith is what it's called. It's an app. I keep telling y'all about it. Honestly, they need to be paying me for these free commercials. But Love in Faith, and when you check out, you go BOGOFREE, BOGO free, yeah, and you can get a free t-shirt. But if you sign up for their emails, you'll get these emails, and then you can go order when they're cheaper. Yeah, they do show them at $20 a piece. But like I said, the other day I got 4 of them for,
It was in the $30 range, so I didn't think that was too bad. But anyway, that's all for now. I'm going to paint the window trim blue, and everything else will be white, the trim. Because I just feel like that window needs something, and I don't want a curtain. Because I have blinds with nice caps on them that I got from my own company. Well, it's not my company, but I work there. Anyway, so I'm going to paint that window seal blue, and everything else will be white. And we'll see how I like it. If I don't like it, I can repaint it, right? Because obviously, I have nothing else better to do with my time, like take out trash and finish vacuuming and mop and do all the things that's actually on my list. But anyway, I'll be back later. Okay, you hear that? That's that sound I'm talking about. So I just come over here and turn that thing until it's quiet. I just knocked over my glass, but thankfully all it had in it was ice. So anyway, that's the noise I was talking about. So now it'll start building up steam and it'll start cooking. And it's probably been about 15 minutes since I was recording before. So it will build steam and then it will start cooking. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, so now it just says 66 and it's on warm, which means that they are done. 45 minutes has passed. So I'm gonna take my little finger and just show y'all. You don't have to be scared. Just open that up and release that steam. And then, once all the steam's released, you can take the top off. But this top will not budge until all the steam comes out. So there's no worries. You can either leave it plugged in to stay warm, or you can unplug it and take it out and put it in a bowl or whatever. Yeah. All right, boys and girls. All the steam is released. So now we're just going to go whoosh. And then we're going to lift up, but don't try to carry it off yet, because you see all that hot water running? You want to let some of that run off so that you're not dripping hot water everywhere. And then we're going to go whoosh, real fast and put it in the sink. And then what we're left with is a bunch of beans and bacon. Hold on. You know what? I think those are still a little bit hard. So we may need to turn it back on. It just depends sometimes. Let me taste of one. Yep. I just pulled one off the fork. I'm going to turn it back on for maybe another 20 minutes. So we'll be back. We're just going to turn that. We really are. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. We're just going to lock that back. I don't know where we had it. Okay, we'll just unplug it and turn it back on. Gonna put it on pressure cook and maybe just 20 more minutes. They're soft, but they're not as soft as I like them. So let's turn it back on and let it cook some more. It won't take as long to heat up this time, and we'll be back. Second time is a charm. It has been 20 more minutes, and it is slowly releasing its steam. I'm going to go ahead and unplug it because I will not leave them in there to stay warm. And once that steam is released, then we will open it and try out the Pintos. Stand by. All right, it has released all of its steam. It easily turns, lift, let the water drain. Don't ever try to pick that up all the way. Leave it at an angle so that it's not running down your arm. That has happened to me, but it didn't burn my arm. It didn't cause injury to my arm. It didn't feel great, but it wasn't much more than a hot bath. You know what I mean? Okay, so then whoosh, back in the sink we go. And then we're going to take our trusty fork and we're going to see if these feel mo tender. Let's just lay them right there. And then we're going to pick one up. Oh, way better. I think it needs more salt. Look at all that yummy deliciousness. And I'm going to add a little more salt, maybe like a teaspoon. Hold on. By the way, it's called a salt cellar, but I bet a bunch of you have already put it in the comments because you didn't wait till the end to post your comment because you didn't have faith enough in me to think that I would realize that it's called a salt cellar, and sometimes people call them a salt box. But anyway, it just came back to me because that's how my brain works. So anyway, with this, I'm going to probably make some cornbread And I'm going to have some chow chow with it, and I may make some of my macaroni and cheese, which is dairy and gluten-free, but it's still delicious. So, perfect. Well, alrighty then. So, while the beans were cooking, I did start painting the window trim, and I do like it. I'm only going to paint it, but I think it's what it needed because it needed some color on that wall, because it's when you first walk in, and anyway, everything was a little too vanilla, right? So anyway, I'm painting that, but I'm not going to show you because I got blue paint all over the white paint that's on the wall. And so I got to go back and touch up. And then I realized also while I was trying to paint that window that I didn't know how to take my brackets. Well, it's not that I don't know how. It's that I have to have a special, I don't know what any of this stuff's called, but it's like you put it on the end of your cordless drill, and it's like a screwdriver, but it's not a screwdriver. It's a hexagon. It's round, and the attachments, you stick it on there and you go whoop, and you pull those out. I don't know what they're called, but anyway, I tried to do it with my regular cordless drill. Can y'all believe I actually have drills, more than one? But I need something that'll get in there and tilt because my drill's too big. That's what he said. My drill's too big to get in there and punch it on that thing to back it out. So then I went and found my other drill, because I have two. And it's got one of those necks that turn on it. And so it's a charging right now. And maybe when I get that, I can actually pull those out and get those brackets off that window so that I can paint. Because I don't want to get blue paint all over those brackets. Because that's what my mama would have done. She'd have just painted around them because she didn't have the patience to take switch plate covers and things like that off the wall. She'd just paint around them. But anyway, speaking of my mama, happy Mama's Day to everybody. My mama was the best. I mean, she was. I can't help it. I know y'all think yours might be, but mine was the best. She was funny. She was fierce. And she would fight for her family. I mean, literally sometimes if she had to. I mean, I never saw her, have to throw hands. Is that the right saying? But anyway, she did chase some people out of the yard with a broom one time. We won't talk about that. But anyway, she was a good woman. She was a strong woman. She was a funny woman. And she spent over half her life ill, sick. MS, hurting, but you never knew it because she was always laughing and cutting up. So when people say to me they don't realize the pain that I deal with on a daily basis, well, that's the way I was raised. You don't sit and whine about it. You just do what's got to be done. I might do it at a slower pace than I want to, but I still do it. So today I have vacuumed the entire house, which check, I can mark that off the list, and all the rugs. Not just the den, but all the house, the whole house, except for the bathroom, because I was afraid I might hit something and knock over that can of blue paint. I mean, to be honest, yeah. Anyway, and I got to finish my laundry that's started, and I ordered me a new summer blanket for myself for Mother's Day. So it's going to come today, Amazon, and I'm going to put it in the washer and dryer, and so that will be all the laundry done. I got all the dishes washed, and I'm gonna get the cat box cleaned out and the trash taken out. I will get that done today, mostly because I can't fit nothing else in that trash bag. But yeah, if I can get those brackets off the wall, then I'll finish painting that window, and I'll touch up the wall where I hit it. I don't even know how I did it. I just looked up and there was blue paint all over my white paint that I just painted, and I was like, well, where'd you come from? Anyway, this has been kind of a weird, rambling, long video about a lot of things, but that's kind of how my videos go. I'm going to sit down and rest for a minute because it ain't nothing. I don't even think it's 1 o'clock, and I've already done a lot today, and I'm tired. So I'm going to sit down and rest for a minute, and then I might do another video on my mac and cheese, but I'll post it later on in the week so I don't do 2 cooking videos on the same whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't want people to think I'm a cooking channel, because a lot of people think because they see a crafting video that I'm a crafter.
I love to craft. I just don't have a lot of time to spend crafting. But Sharon did send me one that I do like, so I'm probably going to work on it at some point in my spare time. But anyway, y'all have a great Mother's Day, and I hope that you're tweeted like the queen that you are, okay? And if you're not, it's their loss, okay? Because you are worthy of the proper treatment. Anyway, I love you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon because I can't talk. And people be crazy. Okay, bye.